All right, folks, as promised, a follow-up on the rim job here on the Buick. In case you haven't seen that video, look down in the description box. You'll see where we diagnosed this Buick for having a bad rim module. I've got the seat back pulled out. Now I will show you how to do that. It's very difficult to record, so I didn't attempt it. Why on earth they couldn't make this accessible through the trunk, I don't know. You can get to the connector, but for whatever reason they put the, the push pins coming through from this direction, so slightly annoying. We will take and unplug the old one. And there she is. There's that. Got the new one here. I got one from the junkyard because these were a couple $100 for a new one. Pretty inexpensive for a used one. They do have to be reconfigured once we put them in. From what I understand, or from what I read, is just the air suspension. So I got that plugged in. The dome light's just turned on, so that's a good sign, right? Because that was one thing we were missing. So technically, I think everything else should work. We made the right call anyways. Which we tested it, so we should be correct. So there's that. She's all clicked back in. Put these little guys back up here. One more over here. It went thick in there. Let me show you how the seat comes out. So on the seat, once you get the cushion out, now the cushion, the seat bun, so this is the front of the seat, this is where your back or bottoms of your legs would be. On this style here, you just pull up. You grab the front of the seat like this and just pull up straight and it will come unlatched. Now some of them have like a wire type latch here, like a loop. On those seats, if this was, if the seat bun was there, you push down on the front corner of it, push it back, and then pull it up, and that will release it. This style here, you just grab the front of the seat and pull up. To get the seat back out, there's 2 bolts in these wire loop retainers, one there and one there where the seat belt's pulled in. So these here, you take 2 bolts out, took an 18mm socket, and then you have these 4 latches that go across the back that go in these corresponding slots. And to get those are kind of tricky. Let me grab my release tool. When the seat back is in the vehicle, so it's it's pinned back there where you can't get to anything, you've got to reach behind the seat with a plastic tool like this and push down on the release lever. So that's all I use, just a piece of plastic, reach back. You probably use a screwdriver, and you can kind of pull back on the cushion where you can see it. You have to stick your head up the top of the parcel shelf behind the back window here, or sometimes you can come out from the back window, look through, peel the carpet or peel the fabric back, and then, like I say, just reach through, hold a little out tension on it, and push down on that release. So that's how you get that out. Before we get too far, let's make sure. Hey, lucky. So that works. That was one complaint. The other complaint was the door locks. So they work. I think its unlock button here is a little funky. Yeah, it is. You got to kind of fiddle with the key fob here to get it to unlock. So that's good. I got the scan tool firing up. What else? So we did not have reverse lights, right? Let's try those. Reverse lights seem to work. Dome lights seem to work. What else did he say? There's something with, is this thing open? Where's the power outlets in this sucker? They're hiding down here, not up here. So here, that's the old cigar lighter. That's a power outlet. Let's see if this little guy works. Oh, it's staying in. I think that means is it in? Do you hold them in? I thought they stayed in on their own. No, that's not getting hot. Let's double check our fuses for that, because that was his one complaint, but he was pretty sure that they were not working prior. I think what we'll do while we're waiting, oh yeah, the rear window defogger. Hey, look at that, it turns on now. That was the other thing. That was a circuit we chased down. So we're going to take and see if the recalibration is in here. Supposedly, from what I read, is, you know, once you replace it, you just have to recalibrate the suspension level sensor. I guess it's going to be. So we'll go special test. And I don't remember. I believe it was in the rim. We'll double check here. If not, I'll have to do some poking. No special tests. Okay. Interesting. Let me do some looking on this. We might have to use the Tech 2. So one beauty of the Evolve are the built-in wire diagrams that the tool comes with. And I found a cigar lighter here, so it's showing the underhood fuse box. What we got here? Yeah, so here's a rear auxiliary power outlet, front auxiliary power outlet. They use a 20 amp fuse there, and then the cigar lighter itself has a 20 amp fuse. What we ought to do before we get hog wild is grab a test light and just see if these are faulty, and then we'll pop the hood, go check the fuses. So it's not right there. Let me go get a light. You gotta be careful doing it. It's like playing the game Operation. I like to use this is my little OTC one. There's the number on that. Upside down, so tip your head. It has a shorter shaft on it, so when you go in, you're less likely to bump the edge because the power side of it's right dead center in the middle. And then we get a ground. And indeed, we have nothing there. Let's check this one. And the outside edge of the outlet here is the ground, so we just got to touch that. Okay, nothing there. Let's just make sure it's not the ground. I'm going to grab the door check. Just go back in the middle here just to see. No light. No light. So that's one of two things. Either our test light's faulty because I did not check it, or a broken wire, or a blown fuse. Let's go check the fuses quick like. Where are you, little fella? There we go. Alright, so here is the fuse box. Well, that's nice. Somebody drew a little diagram there. Chances are, if they had something plugged into the cigarette lighter that blew the fuse, and then they plugged in the other one that blew both fuses. So we need to find the one that says C lighter. C lighter 20, actually 22 and 23. They're both right side by side. And it goes like so. 23 is actually missing. So let's see if 22. Whoa. Hang on, folks. Let's just see what's happening here. See if that's a good enough ground for us. Make sure our light works. Assume something up here is hot. I have a rusty bolt. There we go. Okay, so here's one fuse. Oh, they got it plugged into the memory saver side. Probably have to. What in the thunder? There's that. That's the power. Yep, okay, so that's a multi-position fuse. So let's do this. Let me grab a pair of pliers. Move this over so they got full-time power on their lighter. So now our fuse should be good. Fuse is good there. Fuse is good there. Now this other one. Okay, let me go grab a fuse because that fuse is missing. Let's stick this fuse on 15 amp. Is that what they said they were? 22. Oh no, they're supposed to be 20 amp. Alright, isn't that what we read? 22, 23. Both supposed to be 20 amp, so that's actually the wrong fuse. Alright, let me go get the correct fuse. Somebody put a 15 amp in there. So on these fuse boxes, because you'll see they have three slots in them. One of these is full-time power because, you know, like right now the key's off. The center peg here, or the center terminal, that is actually the feed to the, one's feed to the power outlet, one's a feed to the cigar lighter. And then you have a full-time power source. So you can have your fuse, you know, let's say, like what we're going to do here, we're going to stick our 20 amp fuse because the key's off. right there. Now we should have full-time power on our outlet. Our fuse should be hot on both sides. And it is. Make sure it's pushed down in there. And then if we wanted a keyed source, we just pick the fuse up, move it over one slot, and stick it back in. I did not check with the customer. I will let them know about that. You know, for some reason they keep something plugged in they want to turn on and off with the key. It's a matter of just moving the fuse, but for the time being, we'll leave it how it is. I think it says that in the owner's manual too. You know, if they wanted to look in there to see how to do it themselves. Clearly there's been a problem here at some point because, you know, the fuse was blown or missing and I had the wrong fuse installed. I guess that latch is kind of wore out on that side. Okay. So if we test this again, we should have power there now. Get in the middle. Yeah, we do. So that lights up. So we got power on that outlet. We have power on that outlet. So both the power outlets work. That thing doesn't look like it's ever been used. Let's see. See if that's what's blowing it. Doesn't feel like it worked correctly. Oh, she's hot. Okay, we'll stick that back in there in case he decides he wants to get some cigars. Put that up. Now we gotta. How is this thing? Set it like that. A little garbage there for you. So we got our Tech 2 plugged in. This is a custom. And this is going to be in the chassis. We'll see if it's in here. ABS not available. Okay. Go to rear integration module. Recalibration. There we go. Automatic level control trim set. Let's see what the remove all excessive weight from the vehicle. That includes my big old fat butt. Alright, let's see. Hit continue. I don't even know if this rear air suspension in this car works, to be honest with you. Might be a whole nother problem in and of itself. Let's see what happens here. Alright, calibration complete. So now I got back in here with you. That took a little while. Let's see. Press exit. Pop back out. We'll hop in here. See if that generated any codes. If so, we'll get them cleared out. Alright. Again, I do not know if they were old codes or not. Let's see here. Clearing, yes. Okay. And just for grins and giggles, I'm just shut the key off. Wait a few seconds here. Fire the old girl up. See if it has any current codes. Okay, it does. Alright, so that's good to know. I'll see if he wants us to track, you know, those problems down. A lot of these cars, the rear air suspension does not function. And the code just cleared itself. That's interesting. It's back. Perhaps it had to run a certain test to clear the code. I'm not sure. No, it's there again. So, like I say, I'll check with the customer before we get too far into that. As I was starting to say, a lot of these rear air suspensions do not work in these cars, and people just elect not to fix them. So I'll see what his thought is on that. Alright, we're done. So there you have it, folks, the follow-up on the Buick, putting the R.I.M module in. We definitely made the right call. Everything works. His door locks, the rear defogger, the trunk popper, the dome lights, and of course we fixed his cigarette lighter and power outlet, which he knew did not work prior to going in, which he's 100% true on. It was obviously missing the fuse, and that's that. So anyhow, find us around socials, all that stuff. Go down, ring the bell, click subscribe, and just remember, viewers, if I can do it, you can do it. Thanks for watching.